just a few minutes ago, I talked to Christopher Hart's brother. Now, Christopher Hart was one of the individuals who died this morning. Right here at the Doddridge County Courthouse, commissioners heard the concerns from community members about the Doddridge County Ambulance Authority closing. They are definitely delicious. I know I love them. Can you tell us a little bit about the history, the heritage of where this came from? Sergeant Joshua Cox, the lead investigator for this case, took the stand all morning and well into the afternoon. After talking to Clarksburg city officials, the minimum wage increase could greatly affect our area as well as the small businesses in it. Right now you can see multiple roses and flowers on the sidewalk and the street of Locust Avenue right in front of the house where this incident happened. We still don't know the names or conditions of 5 people who were injured yesterday after an ATV accident in Preston County. Today, firefighters went into a flashover simulator. There they learned the conditions that lead up to a flashover, which is one of the deadliest places a firefighter can be caught in. Aaliyah's aunt told us she was extremely happy they released this picture because it keeps Aaliyah's face and information out there. She said she's hopeful that someone with information will come forward. The group came across this building. Now it seems like somebody is living here. We came across this coffee can that has ashes in it. And what we know right now is that Joseph Metz is charged with 2 counts of murder, robbery, and kidnapping. Now, he allegedly killed his mother, Mary Friend, and his grandmother, Maxine Stallnaker, in the Jane Lou area. She would like to remain anonymous, but she told me she was put in a coma for almost 2 weeks because of the prescriptions Dr. Milan gave her. One of the many exercises firefighters did in training was to learn how to find one of their own and then figure out how to get them out of a burning building. Thanks for joining us. I'm Erin MacPherson. Now, we just got off the phone with officials from Mannington City Police in Marion County, and they need your help finding a man that apparently went missing sometime yesterday. Right here in Bridgeport in this building is where Dr. Adita Milan worked out of. She was arrested last summer, and that arrest stemmed the incidents on Tuesday. And right down this road on Main Street in Bridgeport is the Best Care Pharmacy that was raided last October. This woman was a patient of Dr. Milan's for 10 years, and there are 4 pages of prescriptions here for just the past 3. This home behind me is where one person was found dead and another was then taken to the hospital. And right here in the street is where 2 innocent people died. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Erin MacPherson. A scary scene earlier this evening in Upshur County when a small plane crashed off of Brushy Fork Road. Roadways in our area, like this one, aren't cleared yet. That's because DOH officials say when it's constantly snowing like this, they have to focus on the main road. And when it stops snowing, that's when they can get to these secondary roads. This holding cell in Marion County is new, but the facility itself is not. If you think your pipes might be frozen and want to take matters into your own hands, make sure you have one of these handy. If not, you may need one of these. Experts say when a friend or family member yawns in a relaxed, comfortable environment, it's a suggestion for you to yawn yourself. Tons of things happening this weekend, so make sure you come out and bring your festive gear. Live in Clarksburg for 5 News, I'm Erin MacPherson. A lot heavier than I anticipated. For 3 days, firefighters from across the state came to Harrison County to participate in training.
Our section of the class is geared towards guys who are newer on the department, a couple years or less. They get to go and do a lot of the basic hands-on stuff that used to be common for firefighters.
There's nothing quite like actually getting your hands on the equipment and seeing these situations firsthand. And from a new guy's perspective like mine, it's extremely important.
Thursday, firefighters went into a flashover simulator. There they learned the conditions that lead up to a flashover, which is one of the deadliest places a firefighter can be caught in.
Everything will reach ignition at once. The room can very easily go from 300 degrees to 1,000 degrees just in a matter of seconds. Our gear is designed to protect us limited at those type of temperatures, so this is a very bad place for a firefighter to be.
With facing these life-threatening and dangerous situations, firefighters have to be comfortable and confident.
They get comfortable in their gear, get comfortable dealing with the hoses and the blacked out situations as far as low visibility or no visibility, the heat, becoming comfortable in their gear to know that it will protect them in certain situations.
It builds up a lot of confidence. It's a very dangerous job, and you can find yourself getting worried about things you might face. This is a fantastic way to build your confidence, be able to say that, I've seen a little bit of this before.
I only got a small taste of what these men and women do every day, but I do understand how truly important these training sessions are. For 5 News, I'm Erin MacPherson. Last week we told you Doddridge County residents were upset when there was a bentonite spill in Morgan's Run Creek. Now I am on Morgan's Run Road right now, and residents told me that's not all they're worked up about. They said they're extremely frustrated with all the damage the oil and gas industry has caused them.
This whole area that used to be so pristine it's like an industrial zone. Nothing's the same. It doesn't seem to be the same anymore. And it's really, really heartbreaking for me to see it.
When these things leave, they leave devastation in their wake. And that's not what Doddridge County and West Virginia deserve.
For most of us, we only have to deal with truck traffic on the major highways. But for residents here in Doddridge County, they say that workers can hold them at a standstill for up to 20 minutes.
My business has deteriorated quite a bit because people don't want to drive in the traffic on Route 50. They don't want to deal with the water trucks. They don't want to deal with the semis. They don't want to deal with a time crunch.
If I'm going to pick up my children at school or something like that, you generally need to leave a lot earlier so you don't have to worry about getting stopped in traffic, and you know that you can go pick up your children on time.
Doddridge County used to be in the lowest tax bracket in the state, but now that's not the case.
A comment coming out of the assessor's office was that because of all of this equipment and all of the stuff brought in because of these well sites, our taxes have went up and we've moved into a different tax bracket.
My heart goes out to people living in this region because this process is just starting. It's going to get a lot worse.
Officials from Antero Resources said they think they're doing what is best and obeying the law, but if you have any concerns, to contact them directly. In Doddridge County for 5 News, I'm Erin MacPherson. Brad and Carol Ford have 2 sons, Cameron and Connor. Cameron's away at college, but I got to meet the rest of the gang, especially their son with autism, Connor.
That's pretty good, Connor.
Connor is a 15-year-old boy with autism, and he's on the higher functioning scale of the spectrum. Brad stressed that he's a child with autism, not an autistic child.
We hope more people will be like my great niece, so they're more like people that are close to him, that look at him as Connor first and not disability first.
This family isn't different from your everyday household, but there are things in their home you may not find somewhere else.
Somewhere in the whole house, I mean every floor on the house, there's something he can do if he feels out of sorts. On every floor of our house we have a big therapy ball so that he can sit on it or bounce on it anytime he needs to. I mean, in most homes I don't think you'd probably see a therapy ball on every floor. I mean, in our basement's a whole sensory area.
The Fords say they challenge Connor. Sometimes he may not like it, but he's learning to work for what he wants.
A visual schedule, and he knows, and he has chores, and he wants to make sure he gets his chores checked off for his allowance, and so he knows that, and he's putting his allowance toward a special gift.
Cameron and Connor are 4 years apart and may not have your everyday brother relationship, but they still have something great.
He misses him, and they'll be out of the blue. All of a sudden he'll ask, let's call Cameron, let's talk to Cameron. It's not a daily thing, but you know, I'd say once a week he wants to talk to his brother about stuff and it's funny because he doesn't want to know what Cameron's done. He wants to tell Cameron everything he's done.
Cameron's taught Connor a lot. What we can't get Connor to do, Cameron can get him to do in an instant, you know, just some of the little basic things that we don't think about.
Carol homeschools Connor and said he's at a 4th grade level, but she teaches him the topics at the level he should be.
One-on-one, he seems to learn a lot more than in a group setting. You have to kind of break it down, and you have to redo it, and you have to use a lot of visuals, and you have to use a lot of mediums so that he gets what you're talking about.
And they have a challenge for you. When you see a child with autism, find the person before you find the disability. Autism Speaks. Are you listening? For 5 News, I'm Erin MacPherson.